Stuart Collins, he described light propagation and defined what he called the diffraction integral to understand light propagation in paraxial systems. And, well, this is his article. And Markus Moszyński and Christian Kehn, they were looking, I don't know what they were looking for. See, I asked Christian Kehn, what was the reason to look for this problem? So she said, I don't know. So I think it was really one of the typical things of Markus, that he had a touch of gold, find an interesting problem. And it's really the conservation of uncertainty under linear transformations of phase space, and as a basic matter of interest. Now, this is Stuart Collins. He's retired. His article has now 514 citations. He went on, well, he works at the Electroscience Laboratory as an engineer. He has 8 patents and has gone into optoelectronics and space physics. Now, you see, this is his original article, and it was quoted by a certain Lou and Martinez Pedrero, who in turn got their followers. And you can see that the number of citations per year started roughly around 1995, and then reached, well, 50 citations per year. And it's still being active. On the other hand, Markus Moszyński and Christian Kehn, they had their own set of followers, myself among them. I started working with these problems. A friend of mine who made this, well, you cannot read it, but these are my articles quoting Moszyński and second order followers. And the number of citations per year, I think it has 2 peaks. One of them, when the community of theoretical physicists were interested in the problem of canonical and nonlinear canonical transformations. And then there's a second peak. You see, at the time I was editor of Journal of the Optical Society of America, on the topic of geometric optics, I didn't lose the opportunity to point out to people in optics that Markus Moszyński had, I think, much cleaner followers. So this, I think, is going up. I don't know where it will end, but it will probably stay with us for many centuries. Now, the idea of Stuart Collins was to say, well, we have paraxial optical systems. We can represent thin lenses by this matrix, free flight by this. It must therefore hold for an ABCD matrix, and he compounded them. Now, you actually need at least 3 lenses to build any paraxial optical system, but he found the right kernel. The phase was not the right one, but the kernel certainly was. So he first found the excess quadratic phase for off-axis rays, then found the Lagrangian, then found the phase only from the free flight problem, and then he normalized to conserve energy. It's a paper about 18 pages. And on the other hand, Markus Moszyński, he proposed, said, well, if we want to conserve this commutation relation under linear transformations, then, well, he finds that the transformations have to be symplectic. He proposes 2 differential equations simultaneous for the kernel and finds the same kernel. And as a limit to the identity, he finds the right phase and normalization constant. And this he does in 1.5 pages. So, what we know about linear canonical transport, I think, is this one. I'll take it as a standard.